Okay. So like I was saying that we're going to be just talking about our second chakra tonight, working with that, having a little bit more of a flowy class and just taking our time. It's a lot about just getting into that awareness of our body. It's much more fluid state that we're going to be in. Our first chakra, it's a lot more about grounding and foundation. And tonight it's much more about creating that fluidity in the body and moving and changing. So go ahead and rest onto your back. And if it feels comfortable, you can go ahead and rub the hands together. And then place the hands, the palms over the eyes. And just take a moment to find your breath. So allowing yourself to go within, taking a big breath in through the nose. And exhaling out. Let's do 2 more breaths. Let's do the last one. Nice big inhale, big round full belly, softness throughout the body. Hold for just 1 moment at the height of the inhale, and then softly let it go. As you rest here, keep the eyes closed. You can keep the hands there if it feels comfortable, but if you'd like, you can go ahead and let the hands rest along your side or on the belly. And just let your body ground, bring the awareness to the back body, allowing it to be heavy, allowing the muscles in the face to soften. And so just a little reading on the sacral chakra is letting go to movement. In the first chakra, we will learn to ground, stabilize, and focus. Now, in the second chakra, our challenge is just the opposite, to let go, to flow and to move, to feel and to yield. Movement and change stimulate consciousness. They stir the watery essence of feelings that flow through the body. On the physical plane, movement literally gets us up off of our butts, where we rise from the anchor of chakra 1 and expand outwards. Through movement, we extend our field of perception, increase our sensory input. By moving the body, we build muscle tissue, increase circulation, stimulate nerve endings, and generally enhance the body's flexibility and aliveness. The flow of pleasure and excitation through the nervous system bathes the organism in sensation and awareness. Movement has its own pleasure. By paying attention to the way we move, we can uncover previously buried issues and feelings. In the first chakra, the structural forms of the body gave us clues to unconscious process. In the second chakra, we observe the way these forms move and make contact. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and bring those knees in towards the chest. Just waking up a little bit here, drawing them in, giving a nice little hug, tucking the chin, and just embracing the self. As we inhale, go ahead and let the knees drop away a little bit. And then exhale, draw them in. 2 more times. Just gently waking up the sacrum. Last one. That little pelvic tilt there. So go ahead and neutralize the spine there and coming down onto the sacrum. So the knees are staying bent here. And as we inhale, we're going to exhale and then press the knees into the palms and the palms into the knees. So creating a bit of resistance and then letting go on the inhale. Exhale, pressing knees into palms, palms into knees. Bit of resistance. Inhale, just soften. So the legs aren't actually moving. We're just creating that resistance, waking up those muscles. Last time. Okay, letting those muscles soften. Go ahead, draw the right knee in. Let the left leg extend out nice and long. Just lengthening out those hip flexors. As you breathe here, we're going to take 3 breaths and just notice if with every breath you can kind of inhale, let the knee drop away a little bit. Exhale, see if you can let it draw alongside that right rib. Just soft, subtle movements. Letting the body give way when it's ready. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So left knee in, right leg out nice and long. Big inhale, so the knee drops just away from the body a little bit, and then exhale, draw it in, and then alongside the rib. 2 more breaths. Expand and contract. Last one. Beautiful. Go ahead and extend that left leg out long and let the hands extend above the head. Okay, exhale, draw in both knees. Let the chin towards the chest. Go ahead and lift the head. Big open movement. You can even let the legs go out wide, arms out wide. Extending legs, extending arms. Gaze goes up. Exhale, chin to chest. Shoulders up off the ground. Drawing the knees in towards the body. Inhale, open up. Big and expansive. Exhale, draw it in. Beautiful. Go ahead and ground the soles of the feet onto the floor. Head releases back down, tucking the chin. Back of the neck is nice and long. Hands on either side of the hips. Go ahead and walk out those feet so they're on the edge of the mat here, and then drop the knees side to side. Just waking up the outsides of the hips, sacrum. Soft back and forth. Beautiful. Go ahead and allow the knees to come back to center, bringing those feet back together. Working with coming into our bridge pose. So bringing those heels towards the hips, hands on either side. Let's go ahead and float with this one. So grounding into the soles of the feet, rolling through the spine, lifting the hips on the inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, slowly rolling down. Again, rising up through the hips, pressing through the feet, arms above the head, tucking that chin. Exhale, float it down. Move really slowly. Last one. Exhale down. We're going to do one more bridge. This time we're going to hold at the top. So go ahead and inhale, lifting the hips. And then holding here, we've got the hips up high. And then let the right arm float up. Exhale, right arm down. So we're staying high in the hips. If you need to press into the soles of the feet, tuck that chin again. Inhale, left arm up above the head. Exhale, slowly release it down. The hips are staying high. One more time on each side. So inhaling, right arm above head. Exhale. Almost done. Left arm up. And exhale. Inhale, press through the feet. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Working those thighs. Exhale, slowly roll down through the hips, the spine, and then draw the knees in towards the chest. Nice release here. Beautiful. You can let the head release from side to side. Okay, let's go ahead and roll onto our side. I'm going to roll onto my right side. You can either let the head release down onto the arm, or you can kind of prop it up into the hand, whatever feels good right here. This is a bit of the tensegrity series, so I can post this at a later time, but this is a really, some basic moves, but are really, really nice. So go ahead and bring that top leg, knee drawing up, and let it rest in front, extending the right leg out nice and long underneath. So this is working on those abductors, or the adductors, sorry. So here we're going to flex the foot on the right leg, and then as you inhale and then exhale, lift that heel, and then slowly release it down. Inhale, exhale, slowly, heel lifts. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Let's do 2 more. Okay, so now extending that top leg, left leg releases out long, right knee now comes in as stabilizing. Okay, flexing that left foot, having the left fingertips just kind of tenting and just balancing you here. Go ahead and lifting up through that leg. Exhale, slowly release. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Again, like we're moving through water. 2 more. Last one. Okay, go ahead and bend that top knee and just let them stack here for a moment. And working with our, doing the clamshell. So this is where the feet stay stacked on top of each other. You can kind of flex the feet here to really ground in there. And then we're gonna inhale, open the knees. Exhale, slowly release. 4 more. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, you can either kind of sit up and flip onto your other side, depending on where your camera is, if you can still see, or you can just roll over to your side, but we're just gonna play with this on the opposite side. So allowing ourselves to start off here. So we've got our knees bent, extending the left leg out nice and long, right knee is coming up. And so again, working with that underneath legs, flexing that foot on that left foot, and then nice big inhale, and then exhale, let it lift. Slowly release. It's 2 more, so just taking your time. Beautiful. So go ahead, once you've got 5, then go ahead and draw that left knee in, extending right leg out nice and long, flexing that right foot, and then 5 lifts with your right leg. Inhaling up. Exhale, slowly release. Try not to let it drop with gravity, just kind of slowly let it raise, slowly let it fall. All right, after your 5 are done, go ahead and bring the knees stacking together. You can flex the feet so the insides are meeting each other. They're going to stay connected. And then clamshell here on this opposite side. So lifting that right leg up, knees separate, and then exhale, slowly bring the knees back together. Feet are staying connected. So your core is working to help stabilize, really slowing that movement down, makes it a little bit harder. Okay, doing that last one. Beautiful. Okay, let's go and extend that right leg, extend the left leg, and come onto your belly. Okay, letting the hands be underneath the shoulders here, extending the legs long but together so the heels are touching. Just like we're coming up, just floating up. Exhale, slowly release down. Go ahead and let the right cheek go down onto the mat. Okay, inhaling up, staying really light in the hands. So letting this be that your back is working, the belly, really pressing into the pelvis, tops of the legs. Exhale, release. One more. Okay, this time, go ahead and just widen the legs so they're nice and in a nice V shape here. And this time we're gonna let the head turn to the right and letting the left cheek come down. So inhaling up, neck is neutral, exhale, left cheek to the mat. Two more. Lighting things up. Okay, now let's go ahead and let there be a little bit of weight in the hands, in the palms. Go to press up a little bit here. Exhale. Let's do two more, and you can just see where you want to come. If that feels a little intense, just slide the hands forward. That'll make it a little bit gentler and softer in the low back, but allow you to have that sense of extension and expansion in the front body. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and bring the legs together. Hands underneath the shoulders, press back into child's pose. Kind of walk those knees up, hips over heels, long arms alongside the ears. And just resting here for a minute. You can even kind of press into the palms, sending those hips back a little bit more. Nice big exhale. Grounding into the tops of the feet, shins. I'm going to engage the core as we inhale, leading with those fingertips. Inhaling, come on up into a kneeling position, fingertips rising up to the sky. As you exhale, come twist to the right hand side. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. And then leading with those fingertips, send the hips over the heels, releasing back down into child's pose. Okay, we're going to do that flow two more times. So leading with the fingertips, inhaling on up. Exhale to the right. Use that ujjayi breath. To the left. Nice twist, but also expansion through that upper body. Exhale, child's pose. Last time. Okay, engaging that core, leading on up with those fingertips, gaze to the sky. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Okay, sitting back, really reaching with the fingertips, yet sending those hips over the heels, then slowly releasing down. Go ahead and let the forehead come on top of the mat, and you can let the head just release from side to side. Nice little third eye massage, letting the head be heavy. Okay, so shifting that weight into the hands, come on up into your tabletop position. Okay, grounding into the feet here, tops of the feet. Or if you'd like, you can tuck the toes, but thread the needle. So grounding into that left palm, inhale, right fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, go ahead and thread it through, right cheek to the mat, hips stay high, find your breath. Okay, pressing into that left palm, returning that right palm just underneath the shoulder there, grounding into that right palm, sending the left fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, sliding it through, threading the needle, dropping that shoulder down, left cheek to the mat. Hips stay high. Let the eyes be soft, no tension in the jaw, space between the teeth. Okay, press into that right palm. Come on up. Let's do our little circles with our cat-cow. So instead of it being the traditional cat-cow, really allowing yourself to create those circles with the torso. So we'll start it with the 4 points at first, and then we'll flow it out. Okay, so as we inhale, belly drops, gaze goes up. Then as you start to exhale, let the rib cage move over to the right, and then into cat, moving over to the left, and then inhaling cow. Okay, so as you're exhaling, kind of rotating, creating that circle, and then gaze goes to the belly, and then opening it up to cat, or cow, excuse me. Okay, exhale into cat, inhale into cow. Nice torso rotations. You can start with whichever side is easiest. This can feel kind of complex at first. Let's do one more on this side. And then just switching the way the circle is going. And just let this be really slow, just kind of luxurious as you're moving through, not rushing. Just feeling those spots that may feel tight or tense. Moving the head along with it. Maybe there's some tension in those upper shoulders. Let's do one more. Okay, coming back to our neutral spine here. Allowing the toes to tuck. Pressing into the palms, lifting the hips, downward dog. So walking out, bending one knee and the other, just lengthening out here. Beautiful. Start walking the feet to meet the hands. Nice, heavy forward fold. Hands above the elbows, just sway for a moment. Head's heavy, gaze at the knees. No tension whatsoever in the neck. Loosening things up and then slowly allowing yourself to come back to center. Go ahead and release the arms, grounding that right palm down in front, or the fingertips. You can tent the fingertips or allow it to be just down in front of you somehow. Or if you have a block, you can put that there too. Okay. So grounding into that right palm, big inhale, bend that right knee, and then exhale, releasing those left fingertips up to the sky. On your next exhale, go ahead and release that left hand down, and then grounding the left palm, bending that left knee, big inhale, exhale, go ahead and twist to the right, fingertips to the sky, gaze to the sky. Big inhale here, exhale, release, forward fold. You can remove the block if you had it there. Grounding into the feet, nice wide arms, come on up. Okay, we're gonna flow a little bit, half sun salutation. We all know where we're going here, so really bend the knees just a little bit. Create that expansion, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, float it down. Inhale halfway. Exhale. Grounding into the feet, nice wide arms, come on up. Hands to heart center. Beautiful, let's do 2 more times. Floating fingertips up to the sky. Gaze to follow. We're not in a rush. We're allowing ourselves to be fluid. Move with the breath, floating up. Alternating between that buoyancy and density of the body, grounding into the feet, floating on up. Okay, this last one, just take it at your own pace. Really connecting with the breath. Soft ujjayi. Allowing that softness to come in. Beautiful. Hands to heart center. Notice here, go ahead and tuck the pelvis just a little bit, just to neutral, not driving it in, but just kind of creating that neutral pelvis. Hands at heart center, ground into that right foot, send the left one back. And coming into our pyramid here for a moment. So we have our hands on our hips here for a moment. Go ahead and drive that right hip back, allowing our pelvis to really stabilize here. Inhaling, arms up. And then exhale, slowly release down. So you can let the hands come to the top of the thigh and just coming halfway down here for a moment. Gaze at the floor. No tension in the neck. Notice if you need a little bit of a micro bend in that right leg. And then exhale, slowly release. The hands can come on either side of the foot or stabilizing on the shin. You might need to bring a little bit more of a micro bend in. That's totally fine. But let the head release and the gaze go towards your knee or the back wall. And just let the torso be heavy. Grounding into the feet. Slowly allow yourself to come on up. Okay. Bring that left foot forward, right foot back. Okay. Again, take the hands on the hips. Go ahead and drive that left hip back now. Kind of pivoting that right hip point forward and evening out the pelvis. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, float it down halfway. Letting the hand come on top of that shin. And just let things lengthen out here. Remember, sensation, not pain. Micro bend if you need it, or a big bend if you need it. Using the soft ujjayi breath. So drawing that belly button in towards the spine on that exhale. Big inhale here, and then exhale, slowly release down. Hands on either side of the foot, just stabilizing here. Gaze at the back wall or the knee. You can even shake the head no. Letting go of that tension. So 3 breaths here. Things might feel tight, so just noticing where it feels tight. Noticing if it feels uncomfortable, if you can give a little bit of grace here and bend that knee a little bit in the left front knee. Soften things out a little bit. Use that breath to find those little pockets of spaciousness or softness, or expansion. And your next exhale, slowly allowing yourself to come back up. Beautiful. You can come to the top of the mat. I'm just going to face the camera here, allowing yourself to come into a tree pose. So grounding into your right foot. Go ahead and take the left foot wherever it feels comfortable. So you can bring it up to the inside of the thigh, onto the calf, or you can have it where the heel is just above the ankle and the toe is still touching. Here, we're just focusing on opening the hip here. See what feels comfortable. Go ahead and inhale, arms up. Okay, find that place just a few, maybe a foot or two in front of you. Find a soft gaze. Just listen to my voice. Don't look at the camera at this point. Go ahead and release that right arm down. And then as you exhale, a little soft, gentle side bend to the right. Okay. So even though this is normally a very standing, you know, grounding pose, we're allowing there to be a little bit. So now we can let the left hand kind of graze in front of the belly and go into towards that right hip. And then we can just have a nice gentle bend over to the left hand side. Okay, let's go one more time. So just little floating to the right. And then floating to the left. Nice job, you guys. Okay, go ahead and let the hands release down, let the leg release, and then come into it on the other side. You can take a minute to kind of shake the hips. And then just notice too, on this one, it might be a little bit different, one side or the other. So see where you want to go. Okay, find the hands at heart center. Find your drishti, your nice soft gaze, something that's not moving. Poor Eva has it hard being on a boat. I don't know if you're moving at all tonight. Go ahead and lift those arms up. Soft gaze. Remember to reassess if you need to take it down a bit. The whole point is to be able to stay steady in the legs. So if you're super wobbly, just go ahead and take it down a notch. Okay, see if you can bring a little bit of that side bend in. So right hand to the left hip. Left hand reaches side bend. Just nice and soft and subtle. That left foot might be really active. I can tell that my left side is not as stable as the right. Okay, and see if you can have a little bit of a side bend. Now all along that right side. Use that soft ujjayi breath, stabilize. See if you can do it one more time on each side. This one definitely lets you know which one is the dominant. All right, let's go ahead and let that come on down. Let the knees just nice, big, soft bend here. Feet hip width apart. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, sink the hips, and then float it down. Let the body come into a nice heavy forward fold. You can kind of straighten those legs out to create that extension. Big inhale, exhale, sink those hips, and then float the arms up. Exhale, sink a little bit. Inhale, float arms up, now forward fold. The legs are straight or a little soft micro bend. Okay, grounding into the feet, nice wide arms. Let's just float it up here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and come long ways on your mat now as we come into a wide standing forward fold here for a moment. So the feet are nice and wide, allowing the hands to come to the hips for a moment. Take a nice big inhale and exhale halfway down. Okay. Holding here for a moment and then exhale, release. Take a moment just to let things be heavy. Again, if you need a little bit of a micro bend in the knees, let that be there. Shake the head no. And just like we allow the arms to come on either side of the elbows here, you can kind of wrap those hands just above the elbows. And then again, using that ujjayi breath to stabilize as we move back and forth. So here, we're grounding into the feet, taking a nice big inhale here in the middle, and then exhaling, bending into that right knee, then just sending those arms over to the right on that exhale. So inhale, come back to center, straighten that right leg. Exhale, bending to the left. Bit of like a little bit of a side lunge here. So bending into the right knee on that exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, left knee. Okay, come back to midline, this time taking the hands behind the back. You have the choice. If it feels too uncomfortable, you can leave the hands in front, or you can just bring the hands to the low mid or the low back here and just stack one hand on top of the other. If it does feel comfortable, you can interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back and down, creating that space, shoulders away from the ears. And now doing the same motion as we bend from one side to the other. So exhale, bending into that right knee. Inhale, center, straighten that leg. Exhale, left. Just kind of gently flow from side to side, changing the arms at any point if you need to. One more time on each side. Coming back to center, go ahead and release the arms here for a moment. Shake the head. Nice job. You can heel toe the feet in just a little bit. We're going to create some circles here. So bending into the right knee, let the arms kind of float and then coming up on that inhale. Exhale, bending into that left knee, creating a nice circle, dragging those fingertips across the mat, bending into the right knee, and then inhale, coming up. Okay, so just create these circles. Let the gaze follow if that feels good in the head and neck. And letting those hips and then knee bends just become a little bit more fluid. Add whatever little flair you want to. Tapping into that creative aspect of the self. Okay, let's go ahead and reverse the circle. Again, remembering to slow down enough to match movement with breath. And this can be as deep or as shallow of a move as you want to. You don't have to bring the hands all the way down. It can just be a gentle bend and then just a brushing in front. Fingertips up to the sky, exhale, hands to the hips, pressing into the right foot. Let's go ahead and come back to the front of the mat. All right, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, float it down. Ground into the palms, releasing those feet back. Come on into your nice strong plank. Gently dropping the knees down. Gather the elbows, slowly release down. Chin, chest, hips, legs releasing out. Inhale. Let's press back into child's pose, pressing into the palms, hips over heels. Seeing where you want to come with this. If the knees are together, go ahead and bring the hands back alongside the heels. Shoulder blades can splay. Just letting the breath regulate. Slowly let the hands float forward, coming back into a tabletop position. So bringing that weight into the palms. And go ahead and swing that left foot forward, coming into a supported lunge here. So that right back knee stays down. Okay. Inhaling both arms up. Just like you're holding a ball, go ahead and roll the shoulders back and down a little bit, creating some space, letting the elbows bend, just like you're holding a big beach ball here. So there's a softening, space between the teeth. Inhale, fingers to touch. Exhale. Big, big beach ball that you're holding. So elbows drop down. Inhale, fingertips to touch. Exhale. Let's go ahead and open this up a little bit more so the palms actually face forward. And then we're dropping those shoulders back and the elbows almost like they're driving into the ribs. Okay, so inhale, fingertips to touch. Exhale. Last one. Beautiful. Hands on either side here. Go ahead and send the hips back toward the heel and then lengthening out through that front left leg. So just coming on top of that heel a little bit. You can just walk the fingertips back wherever that feels comfortable for you. Tenting the fingers or palms down, however that feels good in the body. Okay, letting the bend come in, taking that left hand to the inside of that left foot, swinging that knee back to tabletop, and now coming into it on the other side, swinging that right knee forward, or sorry, foot forward, and then keeping that left knee back down, grounding into that right front foot. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, beach ball. Find that spaciousness, dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Again, softness in the face, the eyes. Okay. And now we can let the palms face forward. Inhale, fingertips to touch. You can challenge your balance by letting the gaze follow the hands. So the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, elbows towards the ribs, opening through those shoulders, heart center shining. So fingertips to touch, the gaze can come down. As you exhale, elbows to ribs, the gaze can go up because we're opening through that heart, throat, and third eye, gazing towards the sky. Two more, nice and strong, steady and fluid. Last one. Inhale, fingertips up. Hands on either side of that foot. Go ahead and send the hips back towards the heel, lengthening out through that right front leg. Okay. Walking it forward. That right hand to the inside of that right foot. Go ahead and swing it back. Okay. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Downward dog, walking it out for a minute here. Okay, feet hip width apart. Let's exhale, draw the knees down towards the mat, almost like you're touching, so coming into our bear. I think we did this last week too. So sending the hips back towards the heels, letting the belly kind of rest on the tops of the thighs. From this place, you're really pressing into those palms, then send the hips up and let the legs straighten out. And then slowly just walk heels down towards the mat, bending one knee and then the other. Coming into this again. So exhale, knees gently dropping down. Sending hips towards heels, belly to the tops of the thighs. Exhale, pressing into the palms, hips high. Walk it out. Okay, slowly start walking the feet to meet the hands. Grounding into the feet. Nice wide arms, come on up. Exhale. Inhaling, arms up. And then coming into that side bend like we did with our tree pose, but just with both feet nice and wide here. Hip width apart. And then exhale, right hand to left hip. And then nice side bend to the right hand side. Here we're just going to hold for 3 breaths. See if you want to let the gaze go up to the sky, if it feels better towards the earth. Okay. Inhaling, right arm up. Now exhale, left hand to right hip, and then extending long through that right side body over to the left hand side. See if you can ground into that right foot. Really stabilize here, find your breath. Okay. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, feet are hip width apart, grounding into the feet here. Let the hands slide up the shins, coming halfway up. Okay. From this point, we're going to allow our hands to come up into cactus arms. So the elbows are back, palms are facing down. So we're grounded into our feet. We're going to inhale, let the fingertips touch. So the gaze stays at the floor, no tension in the neck. Okay. Let's go ahead and inhale, elbows towards the ribs. Exhale, fingertips touch. Let's do 3 more times. Find your own pace. Fingertips to touch, and then forward fold, release. Shake the head no, releasing any tension here. Let's go ahead and ground into the palms, releasing those legs back. So right foot, left foot back. Come on into your nice strong plank. Big inhale here. Exhale, let the knees drop. Sink the hips back and coming into your child's pose for a moment. Allowing the weight to shift back into the palms. Bring the knees forward just a little bit. Cross the feet behind you and go ahead and let the hips come down onto the mat. Okay. Allowing yourself to come on top of those sits bones. And bringing those heels towards you, bringing a nice bend into the knees. Inhaling both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Allow the tops of the thighs to receive the belly, the front of the chest. Allowing the head to release onto the knees. Find your breath here. And then slowly, if it feels comfortable, you can slide those heels down. And finding yourself in that nice forward fold. I really like that flow that we did last week. So let's go ahead and bring, so we'll slide that right hand back towards the right hip. Inhaling it up towards the sky, and then exhale, let it connect to either the left shin, left toes, whatever feels comfortable in the body. Okay. From here on the inhale, now the left hand's going to drag alongside the body, coming back towards the hip, almost like we're swimming. Exhale. Left hand to right foot, right shin. Just floating, following your breath. Staying nice and fluid in the body. Moving from side to side. Remember, you always have the option to bend those knees if you'd like. Let's do one more on each side. Okay, go ahead and let both hands rest either on the feet, on the shins, but let the head shake now. Let the torso be heavy, let the head hang heavy. See where the body's gripping. See if you can bring the breath into that space to allow that softening. Just like the water always can kind of find and move through the cracks and the crevices. Allow the breath to kind of move into those places of tension and tightness in the body. Softening, allowing those rough edges to smooth out. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, pressing to the tops of the shins, the thighs. Let the hands come behind the hips here, and then pressing the hips forward, allowing the knees to bend. Come down onto the forearms. We're going to allow just windshield wiper knees here. So feet are more than hip width apart, and just letting them drop in one side and then the other, just feeling that nice release of the sacrum. Little low back massage. All right, let's go ahead and bring it up. Feet back to midline. And release down onto the floor. So allowing the knees to draw in towards the chest here for a moment. Nice little hug. And then just let them be neutral. The feet are flexed, tucking the chin. Let's do that same move that we did in the beginning, just to create a little bit of that resistance. So inhale here, and then exhale, press the knees into the palms, palms into the knees. Inhale, just soften, release the tension. Body's not really moving anywhere. Now exhale, knees to palm, palm to knees. And inhale, release. Last one. All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and release on over, drop those knees on over to the right-hand side. So if you need to shift your hips over a little bit, drop the knees. Here we're gonna allow the top body to be a clamshell. So knees are stacked, but then palms are stacked too. So you're kind of resting on the right side of the head. Left palm is just resting on top of the right palm and creating a little bit of flow with this. So as we inhale, we're going to open up through the top body. Let the gaze release to the left-hand side, and then exhale, close it up. So it's just the movement is just in the upper body. The lower body is staying still. Opening it up on that inhale. Let's do two more at your own pace. On that last one, as you open up, go ahead and shift the shoulders so that way you can rest down, tuck the chin, find that happy place, and maybe even place that right hand on top of the left thigh to kind of anchor down. Let the eyes rest and just find your happy place here. Just coming into this nice twist. And you can either stay here, or if you'd like to bring a little bit of intensity into it or lengthen things out, you can lengthen that top leg. So extending that top leg and then pressing through that heel to create a little bit more of a release. Again, that head can release to the left-hand side. Okay, slowly bending that top knee. And then coming out of the twist, shifting the hips over to the right-hand side now. Drop the knees on over to the left, and remember coming into a clam on the top body now as well. So the knees are stacked, palms are stacked, the head is resting. So let's go ahead and inhale, opening it up. Exhale, close. Find your flow. Okay, this last one, opening it up, shifting the shoulders so that way the shoulders can rest down. Gaze to the right, knees to the left. And again, you have the choice. You can either keep the knees stacked, or if you feel like bringing a little bit more into it, you can let the right leg, the top leg, extend out long, kind of pressing through that heel. So that front leg is active there, that top leg. Gaze to the right. You can just let the eyes close. Again, that left hand can come on top of that right thigh to kind of just gently support it there. So even though it's active, it's also feeling that nice sense of support where you can kind of let go into this. Two more breaths. Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring that top leg, stacking it back on top, extending the arms out long to a T, bringing those knees back up, shifting the hips if you need to, drawing the knees in towards the chest. And allowing a little happy baby here at the end, right before our Shavasana. It's just resting from side to side. Or whatever move you need to bring into the body as we get ready to drop into Shavasana. So take a moment to go ahead and find your props of choice, whether it's a bolster under the knees. You can come into Supta Baddha Konasana. If you need an extra blanket or anything else, eye pillows, go ahead and do that. We'll be in our meditation for just a minute here. So releasing on back onto the back, finding the breath. Just allowing yourself to melt towards the earth. Like putty, almost that mix of the earth and water, just letting it soften like putty, just kind of melting, releasing the shoulders, releasing down and back. The head is heavy, the hips are heavy, the heels anchoring, the lower body down. Feeling a sense of warmth and softness at the crown of the head and slowly moving down to the space between the brow. Letting go of any worry or tension. The eyes sinking heavy in their sockets. Space between the teeth and the jaw soft. And just simply notice the breath as it moves in and out of the body. That gentle, subtle contraction and expansion of the ribs. That soft rise and fall of the belly with each breath. The wise one fills me with clear awareness. The lover inspires me with passion. The warrior gives me the courage to stand up for my truth. The magical child infuses me with wonder and spontaneity. The muse connects me with the enchantment of the arts and my unique gifts. The seer brings clear vision for moving forward. The divine creator transforms me through ritual and ceremony and deep soul connection. Creative energy flows through me and is always available. My creativity is a channel of inspiration that I can open at any time. Inspiration is a divine gift that I can receive every single day. I am open to creative energy and allow it to move through me. I acknowledge my inner critic and move forward with self-understanding, love, and courage. I access the child within and allow this playful energy to inspire my creativity. I am open to learning from the artist within. I nurture the artist within me through self-reflection and self-care. As I allow myself to let go, I open to the gift of creativity. My creativity is a healing force for myself and for the world. Gently allow the softness of the breath to come into the body a little bit deeper. A little bit of movement into the fingers and the toes. Even letting the head release from side to side. Slowly, as you're ready, just allowing yourself to come to the side. Cradling the head and the arm, drawing the knees up towards the chest, savoring the stillness. Honoring that soft, creative, beautiful being within. And slowly, as you're ready, on the next exhale, just slowly pressing up into seated. Allowing the hands to come to heart center and closing our practice with a shared breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale out. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.